Hello, welcome to this production video. You're like, what is a production video? Well, production video is just a video that I need to actually throw some content on the page for us to be able to use in the course. And you can totally skip this one, okay? It's just going to be me adding text. I'm going to talk about how I use a bit of AI to kind of get my presentations into kind of some sort of order to get started. I'm going to bring in some bullet points, okay, images. It's all stuff you already know how to do. So there's nothing new to learn in here, skip along. If you want to hang out and kind of there's always some sort of interesting stuff in these things, hang out, but you have permission to skip over. We make these 4 things. All right, let's go. All right, to get started, I'm going to try a different way. I'm going to go this way. I just type in present, and this 16 by 9 here is the real traditional basic one. That 16 by 9 is an aspect ratio. It's kind of like 16 across the top and 9 high. You can see there, that's the pixel dimensions. Okay, so that's real typical for a presentation. I'm going to name it. Now for me, for presentations, okay, the company name, presentation, and then the thing that it is and a version of it. It's just so that I can go through all my Fox presentations pretty easily, okay, and just kind of like compare the end part of it to see what unique is. If you kind of mess it around, you end up looking through all sorts of stuff trying to find presentations. Anyway. Now, one of the things that I like to do when I am creating a presentation is it's hard to know what goes in them. This is a little thing that I use. I'm using ChatGPT. You might be using something else in the future. Okay, but I just like to, you can see here, I'm going to make a 5-page presentation. I quite limit it. I tell exactly what I want, how many pages. You can see here, I want why we should upgrade our website. And I've asked what the title and content for each page should be. And it's just, I don't know, it's a really good place to start in terms of titles. You don't have to use it. You know, I go through and change everything. I'm like, okay, not all that, bit of that. I find it's a good place to get started. You can do things like, I don't know why I'm so polite to ChatGPT, but anyway. Okay, I want 2 bullets only. See if I can cut it down and be more efficient. Okay, so it's gone through things like shorter titles. Oh, there we go. I don't know. You might find it helpful. You might not. It is what I'm going to use to get this presentation started. Now, if you want to use the text that I'm using just as placeholder text, okay, it's in here in your exercise files. There's 2 versions of it, either a PDF or a rich text file, depending on which one you find easier to cut and paste out of. Okay, and what I find is often, like, it's just a good start. I'm like, okay, enhancing online ordering efficiency, a website upgrade proposal. Now, I know everyone's got a different kind of take on AI. I find it's just a good start point. I never end up using the thing, but I do find it, you know, like a good way for me to get started. Some people are better at this. I'm not so good. All right, background here, I'm going to go actually, I'm going to use my brand colors. Okay, you can use any color you like. I'm using brand colors, okay, because I can. Not everyone can, because obviously some people on the free version. Oh, I do like that. Actually, you know, I'm going to go back to that color. All right, let's make another page. And you'll notice that presentations use that kind of more, thumbnail view, which is probably more appropriate for a presentation. And I'm going to go and copy and paste my, where is it? Bullet points from my second slide, the current challenges. Bullet points are easy. Okay, I'm going to number them just in case maybe in the presentation it's easier. In terms of the alignment, it just cycles through them all. Okay, so I'm going to go left aligned. In terms of the sizes, you really need to present as a test to kind of see how big these are, but often it needs to be a lot bigger. Okay, we're going to try and be consistent across slides. Okay, the other thing that's quite nice is when you play around with the spacing, we're going to play with the line spacing on this one here. Okay, and in terms of colors, I'm going to make one light, one dark. I'm going to mix around with the colors just for a bit of visual interest. Okay, so it might help me as well when I'm presenting to kind of know which slide I'm on. And I do like this line option here that I was using. Actually, let's create another one. I kind of just appeared that on you. Okay, so remember it's our line. Okay, and I'm going to pick that color. Okay, and I'm going to go to my text. I'm going to use my brand kit. Now, I know not everyone has the kind of brand kit because they're on the free version, but if you have to do it the long way, you can go through and just type it out. Okay, and I'm going to go through and pick a font size. Again, I'm going to stick to these and try and get some consistency from here on. All right, and remember the other thing is we've kind of done that. We drag across everything to select it all in one go. Could group it. And I'm going to put in, I want to put an image in the big circle. Okay, so remember, who remembers from earlier on? Okay, remember we've got to use a frame. It's not a crop. We'll go U. I'm going to try and make something super big. Remember, if you hold down the Option key on a Mac, Alt key on a PC, it drags from the center. Okay, and I'm going to go something like this. And then I'm going to go to my elements. I'm going to go to photos. And I don't know about you, but for this part of the course, I feel like we've got to a place where like we can do anything we want. I know there's some interesting things about presentations, but we're like, I can do kind of anything I want in Canva now. Look at me building stuff. It's looking good. I'm going to type in frustrations because I want to kind of try and match the titles. And that guy looks good. Drag him into the right spot. He doesn't fit. If I want to go make an AI version, probably not going to spend the time. Now I got to find that frustrated without looking like they've lost it all. Mild frustration. That's what I need. She mildly frustrated. Let's go and flip it around. See if we can get her. Oh, yeah, perfect. Oh, she's got a coffee. I thought it was a cell phone. Anyway, you wait there. Yeah, that guy feels mildly frustrated. I'm going to work on my logo again, brand, and I'm just going to do the logo hint. Okay. No, I don't want to swap it over. Remember, if it tries to swap it out, who remembers? You do. Get it the right size first. Hold Shift and use your arrow keys. Was that painful for everyone? What I might do in this one as well is lower the transparency on this and then copy it. Go to this first one, go to paste. Not what I wanted. Copy, paste, switch it out. That one probably doesn't need to be transparent. Why am I singing? And what I might do just to speed things up is instead of making new ones thing again, I'm going to say duplicate this one. Okay, and I'm going to go through, grab this next bit, copy paste some text. You wait there. Okay, got the text in. I'm going to throw in 3 images just that we can play with the layout function later on. Okay, so I found 3 images and I just kind of duplicated the shape. And you can see here, I've been quite really rough with this. So this is what I'll do is I won't spend too much time designing it because I'm going to rely on the presentation layout features we looked at maybe earlier on. Okay, so I'm just kind of like dumping the things that have to go on the page. Okay, bullets are there, titles there. I like the line. 3 images, not worrying about colors, not worrying about layout. We're going to do that when we get to the next video with layouts. I'm going to make my homepage kind of look like my finished page. There should be 5 pages. I'm just cutting to the chase. All right, and a thank you page. So I'm just kind of throwing this all in here so we've got some stuff to work from. And if you're following along, get to do the same thing. We'll turn this into a class project at the end once we run through everything, but for the moment, I'm just clicking on pages. Everything is in. All right, thanks for hanging out. Let me know in the comments, did you hang out? I do wonder who actually hangs around for these things. Anyway, I gotta stop giving permission to skip them at the beginning. All right, I'll see you in the next video.